There will be no incest in today's visual novel. I need to remind everybody. I know it's weird because on this channel, I think we played like 3 games about incest so far. But one of them was because I kept seeing the stupid fan post on Instagram, and I was like, okay, well, I have to play it. And it ended up being really good. It was a weird story. Okay, it was a weird story, but I liked it. Okay, and the other is it was just accidental. Okay, sometimes you play a game and you stumble upon incest, and there's nothing that you can do. Okay, how am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know about the incest beforehand? Usually they keep that under wraps. The one game that was upfront about it, I was like, we have to see it. Every VN has to have one. That's a genre requirement. Yeah, I wonder how many like here. How this visual novels. How many visual novels? Is there a way to like is there a VNDB like a the visual novel database? Wait, okay, we have a visual novel database. Let me see if I can show this for you. Tags. Is there a safe tag? Can I see character? Can I see April Fools? No, no, no. I want to see incest. Oh, incest. Okay. We can actually search by incest versus non-incest visual novels. Welcome everyone to today's stream. How about I start by explaining what we're doing today? Okay, today we're gonna be checking out some things. One, what the fuck is this list? Okay, so one, we're gonna be making a visual novel today. Two, today is PoE 2 launch day, but that doesn't matter to me. Tomorrow will be PoE 2 day because I don't want to skip. Like, I realized something during our early development stream experiments. Development streams need the entire day. Otherwise, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. I also realized that I should have maybe finished that plugin to help with the development stream, like automatically showing and hiding sources, but I didn't realize we'd be back to a development stream so soon. But yeah, one of the best ways to make a visual novel is with programming. I don't know. For me, visual novels, I thought they'd be more of a visual editor component, but RenPy is very it's very programming heavy. Like you need to have a programmer to kind of work with it. It has its own DSL too. There's other ones like Twine and stuff, but I don't think they're. Apparently they're only really good for if you want like a specific style of visual novel, which is mostly like a reading text game, which I don't really want. So, and RenPy already has most of the useful features. So, very detailed. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking at this, and maybe incest is probably the thing to do. I was hoping to maybe include lies. I was hoping to maybe exclude the. I wonder if there's a way to exclude VNs that have. Okay, you know what? We have the count, right? So, but okay, first off, yeah, it seems like there's a lot of visual novels about incest, and there's different kinds. So you have aunt, nephew, brother, sister, cousin, father, daughter. 7 more tags. Aunt, nephew, mother, daughter, brother, mother, son, brother, sister, blood related cousin, blood related uncle, niece. Blood related father daughter, blood related father son, blood related grandmother grandson. Jesus Christ, twincest. The grandmother grandson, unless it's like the grandma from Dan to Dan, I don't think it's gonna work, man. Unbeknown incest. What the fuck does this mean? At least one of the participants is not aware of the incestuous character of the sexual relation, although the other could be well aware of it. It does not matter if the incestuous relation happened by chance or by deceptive intention at the side of the annoying participants. Oh, it's like Old Boy. So I want you to think about this. Wait. I need to explain this. There was one time I was at my friend's house and she was asking, "Hey, what should we do or like watch?" Because we were catching up, right? And I was like, "Hey, do you want to watch like a really cool Korean movie? But it's like really messed up. But it's like one of their classics. It's called Old Boy." And I was explaining it to her, and then her little sister entered the room, and then she was like, "Yeah, we can't watch this anymore." But Old Boy is a classic Korean film that has incest in it. That is exactly this, which is major spoilers for the movie. It's like major spoilers for the movie. It's one of the best movies out there, though. It's so classic that the elevator scene is basically the thing that you usually see when you hear about action cinema sort of mainstays, if that makes sense. Let me just mute that. Okay, just let me show it to you. This elevator scene when he gets out the elevator and he's just beating people's ass. This is a classic scene. And this is a movie that's fundamentally, I'm not kidding you, about incest. It is a fundamental aspect that this movie is about incest. So if you're into incest and you haven't watched this, then you're not into incest. It is a major component of this movie story. It is the driving force behind this movie story is incest. This fight is because of incest. Oh, is it dad slash daughter? You have no idea what you're in for. You should just watch it. If you've never seen Old Boy, go find yourself a copy of Old Boy. I don't care which, just don't tell me about it, and you just watch it. Well, and I'm also not going to say it on the stream because it's spoilers. Non-blood related. Okay, so there's non-blood related. There's like the siblings, there's father daughter, father son, aunt nephew. What the fuck? Inbreeding. These games contain scenes of incest that lead to impregnation. I'm gonna open this on a new window. Inbreeding. Okay, well, this is actually a very tame Wikipedia article. Oh god. Oh god. Wild animals. Banded mongoose females regularly mate with their fathers and brothers. Okay, it's kind of okay. You know these like little animals that you see in the Lion King? These guys? Yeah, these The Lion King is a movie that's fundamentally about incest. I'm gonna say that anything that involves anything that has a hint of incest, I'm like, it's fundamentally about incest. In-law incest. This is interesting because it's like I never consider in-law incest to be incest. Like you're in-laws, but you're basically strangers. It's like, okay, this is the thing, right? If all of a sudden, you become in-laws, and it's like, okay, well, now we just have to be okay just living together, like everybody knows that aspect of living together takes like time to ramp up to, right? So it's like in every other aspect of like your life with your in-law, everyone knows that it takes time to get used to it, because it's like you're literally just a stranger walking into a situation and trying to make a life together. Like that's, I will say this, the in-law concept is very weird. Like it's even just in reality for normal things, I don't understand how it, there's a bird that steals the eggs of another bird and replaces one of the eggs with its own, and so you have to raise its chick. That's what the concept of like an in-law family feels like. Is that you're just walking into a family and saying, "Hi, I'm yours." It's like that dude who pretended to be a blonde, blue-eyed boy or something. Dude who pretended to be a lost child. It's like this guy. Frederick Borden is a French serial imposter. He began his impersonations as a child, and his recent one, I think the most famous one, was when he assumed the identity of a lost child who was like lost when he was 12, and he came back, but he's like 6 foot tall. So he was like, I don't know how you believe that this is your 12-year-old child. But yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, 14-year-old boy. He assumed the identity of Leo Bally, a 14-year-old French boy who had been missing since 1996. Basically, in-laws are a bit like this. It's just impersonators who walk into your home and say, "I'm your family now." It's like, no, you're fucking not. I don't fucking know you, man. You may have married somebody that's in my family. I don't give a shit about you. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fake incest. It's offensive to real incest connoisseurs. Exactly. Thank you. See, top tier. Listen, if this isn't even ordered correctly, right? Inbreeding should be at the top because that's like top tier for incest enjoyers, and then you have in-law incest at the bottom. And I'm not kidding you. Inbreeding is also within Old Boy. Inbreeding is also a major part of Old Boy. What a fucked up movie. Anyways, yeah, we'll be making a visual novel today. Today's going to be a day all about learning how to make a visual novel. I have no clue what to do about it. I looked up into different tools. I looked up into various tools. I'll explain what we're doing later. And I have some idea prompts, but think of this as a free-form space where all of us are allowed to contribute as much as we would want. So if you want to contribute something stupid, you're allowed to. If you want to contribute something like nice, you're allowed to, okay? You're absolutely allowed to contribute as much as you will want. Just know that I'll be the one that has to deal with the technical details. So if you say, "Oh, streamer, can I have the text be all wavy? Can I have it all go upside and down, topsy turvy? Can you make it rainbow colored? Hey, I wanna connect it to my webcam so the character can see my face." Yeah, that's gonna be hard. But I was thinking about that actually, and I'll explain some of the mechanics that I was thinking about later. But before we do that, today is also Path of Exile 2 patch day. So they released patch notes and a trailer, both of which I didn't really get to watch because I've been a busy bee. Do bees know that they're busy? Do they know that they're deep in the beesness? uh, cut the music. Just, just cut the music. We're gonna watch the gameplay trailer, which released 2 days ago, and then we're going to read the patch notes together. Today is not a Path of Exile 2 day. Tomorrow's a Path of Exile 2 day. The reason why today it's not is because I didn't want to download it, and I didn't want to deal with like day one patch day sort of server load. And I feel like Saturday is a good day for it because Sunday is a whole different day. It's like we need one slow day to deal with the fast-paced day on Sunday. Because Sunday is a spooky Sunday, which I'm gonna have to wear like the heart monitor thing for. And then Saturday it'll be like, like the slow Saturday, right? Saturdays are relegated now to slow Saturdays. Sundays are now whatever theme I can think of. Okay, there's no more fishing Sundays. All the weird community events are gone for now. They'll come back later at a certain date. I have to figure out how to do it though. Okay, but for now we're just going for a calm pace. Now, I've never seen this. Even though it released 2 days ago, I've been so busy that I haven't been able to see any of this. All I know is that there's new ascendancies, there's new enemy types, there's new mechanics and unique items. So I'm excited to like try it out. Something forbidden. Oh, it's like a Javazon from Diablo 2. It's like a Javelin Amazon. I never. Okay, can I say something about this like trope? We should put this trope into my story, into the visual novel story. Okay. I never understood why you get punished for doing the right thing. It's like in Princess Mononoke when the prince gets sent away because he defied the beast god and now he's infected. It's like, well, I mean, if you do that, nothing really changes. If anything, it makes your situation worse as a whole and just makes their situation even worse as well. And it's like, why would you make both of your situations worse when you could look towards social theories and social frameworks like say globalism to make things better? Because then the world will sort of like move together and form a interconnected mesh of possibilities that all can take part in. Versus this like isolationist attitude that we're seeing rise up in these villages. Totally not topical, by the way. So, what does it get to the gameplay? Yeah, just show me how she kills people. Okay, so this explains why she's in jail. Okay, good, thanks. Oh, she stole a spear. Honestly, yeah, I never understood this idea of these like guards standing like this so close to the bars because I'm like, yeah, people could just steal your shit, man. Although in reality, if you try to steal the spear, right? Do you know what it's gonna end up like? It's gonna be a lot like when you give your dog like a giant stick and it's trying to walk into the home, but the like doorway isn't open wide enough. It's you and the guard are like he's gonna be watching you having to like slowly shuffle the spear up to the tip so you can like pull it in and then stab him. But they cut that like awkward movement here. Look. Actually, they made that was the most accurate spear pull. I thought she was gonna go from the middle, but she went from the bottom where the tip already was to slip it in. That's a pretty impressive detail in the animation to avoid that problem. Now, I know bits of the patch as well, so not too much of this is new to me. I know that there's a new parry move. I know that they're trying to go heavily into this idea of combos. What the hell did she just do with the skinning? Please don't tell me it's like Monster Hunter where I have to sit there and skin something for 5 seconds. What? There's a mount? I'm going to assume that that's very class specific. Because otherwise, isn't that just the best way to play the game is you get on your mount and you basically win the game? What? As Miriam Wisps. Oh no. It's treasure goblins. Oh shit! Wait. Oh, you get like random NPCs now. Oh, that's cool. 100 plus new support gems. Wow, 100 plus new uniques. I know there's 5 new classes for sure, and that they revamped a lot of the end game, and they also changed the pace of the game with like the way that they balance things too. So new maps. I really hope it doesn't mean new campaign maps. I forgot how sick that like logo was, and just how weird it looked with that thing just standing there. Um, that was neat. Yeah. So I know a bit of what's going to come. So I'm not too surprised by it. But also, I don't know how they I don't know how they plan these, right? But trailers for ARPGs, they're really hard to make look cool because most ARPG trailers boil down to you seeing a bunch of shiny lights. It's very hard for you to it's hard for you to parse what's happening. You know what I mean? Unless you're aware of what the game is. And so the trailer to me is just like, okay, well, there's just like flashbang, 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 flashbang. Just shiny light, shiny light, shiny light. It doesn't really strike me as a very, I don't know, appealing state of affairs. It's just sort of like, oh yeah, it's nice and shiny, but doesn't really do much for me. There's also the patch notes, which dropped I think yesterday, and there's a lot. So you have the new playable character class, the Huntress, Amazon Ritualist, Myth of Katavar Ascendancy class, new Tactician, new Lich for the Witch. I know there's a new type of summon. It's like a companion. There's also persistent ones called like a different type of minion. Um, Apparently Path of Building already got updated with it, so I guess they're back to that same old role of Path of Building gets the updates and gets the calculations first. Because as far as I know, in Path of Exile 1, the developers sort of like give you a like a JSON file that they can use to update it with. So maybe they're doing it again. Was that a magic wand battle in the end? I actually don't recall. I mean, that's the thing, right? It's like everything is so bright and fancy that I can't really tell. With this music, okay, honestly, with this music, the game doesn't sound nearly as cool. If you just listen to the music and you just look at this, it looks like a clown game. Music does wonders to how you perceive something. It's like Animal Crossing, but like way more violent now. That's good. That's really good, actually. Let's just watch this play out with the soundtrack for a bit. Like if I showed this to someone and I had this music playing, and I said this is Animal Crossing Old Horizons, where you have to like this is the beginning of the Animal Crossing sort of island adventure where you have to clear the islands. I think that'd be funny. This magic wand, that is a magic wand battle. Hey, oh, but it's 2 NPCs. Is that Titty? That is a massive titty. Yeah, she has titties. Yeah, that's a magic wand battle between 2 NPCs and much more. And I wonder what the much more means. Now, there are some cool things about this that I do enjoy. One, there was a shocking lack of support gems in the first pass. The first pass, that's why I didn't want to go all the way to endgame because I felt like I had seen everything, and it was very undercooked. And I was like, I don't really want to do too much of it. And it's like I'm like fine being where I am. But then it's because like your builds were pretty static. You basically didn't take any of the other weird support gems. You only took the ones that increase your damage because they were the most efficient. But now with over more support gems, I'm hoping it sort of opens up new build possibilities. The additional classes means you have more things to play with, even if you played a lot of it before, so you know that there's new things to like do. There's 2 new item classes, which is spears and bucklers. I don't know how different bucklers are going to be because it's just a shield, so I don't know why they added a buckler necessarily. But the spear is interesting because it's sort of like it's I can't like I'm excited for what spears can bring to the game. Hello, chat. How are you? Oh yes, thank you for finding Vibe E. Vibe E is a great emote. Who likes bucklers? Least cinematic looking thing. That's the thing, right? So it's the least cinematic thing, and they're just the same as a shield. So if it's the same mechanic as a normal shield, what's the difference? But I'm assuming that's what that's where the parry comes in, where it's like only bucklers can parry, or maybe only bucklers get the best parry. Because imagine trying to parry with a giant tower shield, right? Trying to swing that thing to like parry. I'm assuming the buckler is there as a high risk, high reward parry option with the new parry mech. New endgame maps, I don't really give a shit. It's shield but lave, yeah, exactly. The rogue exiles, I find really really cool because I sort of like the idea of. I've always liked the idea of what say Dark Souls had or like Elden Ring has, where you have the evil versions of players who just show up. It's like the evil spirit guys, right? I always thought that was a fun mechanic, and I wish more games had that. So I'm glad that they're adding that because it feels like a mini PVE PvP type of thing, but it's not really PvP, right? As Marion Wisps, they lead you to finding past monsters. Yep, they're infused. 15 new socketable items. So new socket items. Cool. Twilight Reliquary Key. This was actually available within BOE 2 already, I think. It was in the drop table, but there was no way to use it, so. Which drops a special foil version of a unique... Okay, that's just cosmetic shit. I don't give a shit about cosmetics. You know, this is the problem, actually, with Path of Exile 2. Their information is spread all over the place, and you have to like go to watch a live stream, go to watch some other person's live stream. You have to go watch some random streamer's live stream to get information about what they're saying beforehand. It's like, geez, you have to go to like a million different places, and then their forum. If you go to their forum and you go to the news section. The news section includes sales. So it's like most of the posts are about sales on like stash tabs. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about sales on stash tabs. Just show me what's happening with the game, man. Anyways, end game changes. Yeah, okay, you have new areas of corruption. You can reach the Nexus, and you'll begin the task of cleansing the corruption, which you can then use to obtain Atlas passive skill. What? Oh, right, yeah, because there was an Atlas passive, yeah. Cleansing the Nexus will cause surrounding maps to become cleanse maps. Crushing areas no longer have a +1, but they're more likely to have more modifiers. Once you start a boss fight, the respawning system will change to require the map owner to collectively respawn the entire party. This is so that you must still kill the boss from full life. Nice, okay. You will be able to enter and exit your maps as much as you like as long as you haven't died. The number of portals is representative of the number of revives you have during the map. Wait, what? So now they're moving back to a revive system. It's no longer like a one-shot system. Because it's like, okay, here we go. You can now respawn and return to a map if you die. Upon first entering the end game, you get up to 6 total attempts per map. As you add more modifiers to a waystone, the number of respawns goes down. So, which is kind of... That still feels kind of bad. Because then it's like, if you want to do harder content, the risk is higher. But harder content doesn't necessarily mean more rewards, right? Like, because some modifiers just make it harder, but doesn't necessarily increase the rewards. But it's sort of a part of the RNG. But it's again just a weird punishment system for RNG. I don't know. Let's see if they change the game mechanics to make it actually fun to do. It just seems that seems awful. But at least it makes it easier to get into mapping. But early maps don't give you anything anyway. So unless they rebalance the early easy maps to give you more, it's not worth it to do. And you have to push even harder. But it's like, you know, it's kind of hard to do that. Like, though it's not hard to have, it's not bad to have difficulty, but it feels arbitrary when it's just like, okay, you don't get to restart. Because then it's like, are there still one shots within the game? I'm not sure. Tablets inherently add twice as many mechanics to the towers. The number of towers has been reduced drastically, but each one is now more powerful. You decide to rush to the map boss without interacting any of the other map content and then die. You'll respawn at the boss checkpoint, and only the boss map will be present. Oh, nice. So all the other stuff will be prevented. Okay, that's to stop it like a bug or like a thing. Now, waystones or obtaining maps has been redesigned. Okay, waystones makes it much more reliable to sustain them and less dependent on the random elements, so maybe it's better, easier to do. Waystones can no longer drop at a lower tier than the map you were in. I heard that this was a major issue, because it meant that it was basically, if you didn't go for the highest tier of drops, quality and well, I don't even think that's a quantity, but whatever the modifier was, if you didn't get the most of it, then what ended up happening was that you would just sort of slowly whittle away your supply of maps. But it only happened if you were within the lower tier of the map levels, but if you were in the higher tier of map levels, you never ran into that issue. And basically, it was like a win more thing. Like once you, and it was artificial. It's like it's like a skill floor, you know. Before you get through to the skill floor, it's like a DPS check, like you can't beat it. But as soon as you get past it, it's easy. You don't even have to do anything. You just auto win every single time. That's what I heard was the same problem with the mapping and how it drops, was that once you got past that like weird arbitrary threshold, you basically never needed to deal with the idea of like running out of waystones ever again. But before then, you were scrounging for them, like you were genuinely starving. Sources, yep, have been replaced by, okay, yep. First, did 5 different unique, okay, unidentified, okay, add a new modifiers and change that a new crafting mechanic called recombination has been added to the expedition, which allows you to select mods in 2 items, hoping to get the best elements of each on a single item. Oh. And just selecting more mods, the chance of success decreases. If you are not successful, the items will be destroyed. Wait, this will be unlocked. Wait, that's actually kind of cool. I mean, it's still more RNG, but it sort of lowers the amount of RNG that you need to do. So you get to combine them into one item, but it's a chance that it'll die. I mean, it's a cool way of doing it. I just don't know if it's really worth it necessarily, because I don't know. It's kind of hard to sort of say. Again, I'm just on the, like, I love the game. I love playing it, but I love the feeling of the game more than I do the RNG. But it's like I can't get away from it because, like I said this before, right? No rest for the wicked. The studio is awful. Like they have so many allegations of, like, you know, really poor working conditions and like abuse. And there's like tons of screenshots of their like, you know, internal chat where like the heads of the studio are basically assholes to everybody who isn't like them. So it's kind of a bad, you know, thing to want to support. And I wish I learned about it before I bought the game, mind. But there's no other game like that feels the same except for Path of Exile 2. Like it's weird because even playing Grim Dawn, it doesn't. Even with the new role mechanic, it doesn't feel the same. The Path of Exile 2 feels so action oriented, just like No Rest for the Wicked was, that you can't help but want to play it because it's so unique in that space. Oh, you never heard about that? You thought that I was talking about Blizzard? Yeah. So I only found out recently too when I was looking up sort of why the game had no players, and I realized, oh, that's why. So, yeah, it's not good, let's say, and I don't like to support those practices. I feel like, you know, when you okay, business rant starting. Once you step into the role of a business owner, I feel like you should have a higher moral standard and a higher sort of like standard that you hold yourself to. Not to say that you shouldn't have a high standard no matter who you are, but as the owner of a business and as somebody who people rely on, you have to carry yourself in a way that doesn't invite a certain level of anxiety and pain and sort of like anger and the sort of like hurt towards the people that you work with. Because people are hired on the basis of their skills, and they, you know, genuinely are accepting because of some factor. And it's a factor that is not usually because they want to work with you. That's usually not why people want to work. So at least having some empathetic sort of mindset towards it, I always think to myself, if you're doing this because you need the money, I'm not going to make your life harder if I'm your boss. Like, I wouldn't want to do that to you because you don't even like being here in the first place, right? I don't even want to assume that, because it's like we all know the deal. It's just a job, right? Like, there's no need for you to make the job even worse. And in many ways, when I think of somebody trying to make a job feel even worse, I think to myself, they're needlessly sadistic for no reason, really. Like, they're just very sadistic towards people who have no, like, they've done nothing to deserve this. You know what I mean? But it's weird because then you read sort of those like weird those the screenshots that you see from the creators, and then you see their Twitter posts and you see like what they're talking about. It's like, damn, you guys are assholes, man. Like, I don't know why you do this. So you got gifted PoE 2 and it crashed when you went out to fight in the second zone. You just stopped playing. Yeah, so I'm hoping that they fix that too. So you're not the only one. A lot of people had so many crashes with it, to the point where some people still haven't been able to play the game. So I'm hoping that they fix those as well, because if you can join our guild of 3 people and maybe work with us to get whatever, because our guild, we just throw unique items into the shared chest, and it's like, hey, try to make a build with this. Hey, try to make someone in the guild. I'm pretty sure it was Mints. They found a Hoa, a hands of the WA something, right? And then he was like, I don't know what this is good for. And I was like, buddy, this is like best in slot. But it was before everyone realized it was best in slot. And then all the Reddit posts came out and was like, it's best in slot. And I was like, I told you guys it's best in slot. We're holding on to like a 5 div or like a 10 div, whatever the currency was. I forget. It's like been a while. Item here. Like it was sitting there the whole time. I was like, is nobody gonna use this? It's the best item in the game. Anyways, so yeah, if you want to come and get like really broken items for free before people figure out what it's really good for, show up, because I've also done that with the items, with all the spirit items that I found. I just threw them inside the like chest, and I was like, oh, these are actually really valuable items. 3 people sounds extremely elite. More like this channel has no viewers. Chat, I'm gonna be real with you, okay? This is a good just chatting segment to show you. You have to realize this channel has fucking no one. Look, viewers 20. Actually, I mean, because like this count is also in. Okay, this count is inaccurate. At any given point, I don't even check the like viewer counts. Okay, at any given point, there's only 2 people. How do I see? How do I see like the amount of people? Oh, wait. Do you think it'll copy the music? Okay, everyone. Get ready! Oh god, that's way too loud. Oh, it's hurting my ears. Oh god. It's too many of you. How do you even see viewer count? See, this is the thing. I never check viewer count because I don't know how to see it, right? So, but, here we go. Yeah, see? So, look. You have to realize this is a very small channel. There's only 4 people here at most, maybe 2. Okay, I don't even believe that it's actually 4. I would be. It's probably closer to like 2. Okay, only the 2 of you. Yeah, I don't mind that, but it's just a realization that like this channel has always been a niche thing. The YouTube is arguably where most of the viewers are, which is weird to me because the YouTube is sort of the one place that I don't expect people to show up to. But YouTube is easier, right? Live streaming always has this barrier of it's so hard to get into because there's just too many things you need to line up. Your time zone, your time frame, when you're actually free within your time zone, because you might be awake for the next 16 hours, but guess what, buddy? There's life, right? People have to pay bills, so people are working. With a YouTube video, you can turn it on, you can stop watching, you can pause it, turn it on, stop watching, pause it, come back and forth, right? So it's like, and even like here, like even 12 views is technically more than what the live stream gets. So it's like, I always just think of this channel as a small little gathering of people who just want to have fun. So I don't mind, but it's just a reality that we're not elitist. I'm just a nobody. I'm not an elitist. I'm just a loser. I'm not cool. I'm just a loser. Oh man, that's such a good it's such a good that's a good joke. Anyways, before I start crying, let's let's move let's move on. Oh man, talent modifiers to give breaches. All bosses are affected by difficulty. Simulacrum can now drop all the content. Pinnacle boss content now takes roughly half the amount of time to unlock compared to before. Oh shit, that's actually amazing. So now you can do the bosses more often. Yeah, because that was the thing that I saw about mapping was that it didn't make... Like, the game feels oriented towards doing more bossing, but you rarely ever face bosses in the end game from what I saw. And most of the maps that you do, you just go for the most monsters that you can to get the most loot rolls as you can. And so you just end up getting more loot. Because the whole point of the game is not to fight bosses, it's to get loot. And the only boss that drops a loot item that's actually unique to it is specifically the final boss, the hardest one where you have to kill, I forget his like name now, but he like drops the Temporalis. And that's the only boss that's actually worth doing, which makes me sort of go like, well, what's the point, right? But it's sort of it's an age-old problem going back to the oldest MMOs of how do you incentivize bosses versus mobs. And it usually comes down to unique loot tables, but then you just raise the floor to whatever the unique items are. Like the meta just shifts towards the unique boss items. So if you count all the views, not just concurrent, then streams probably do get 12 or more. Yeah, that's fair. But if I think of like, you know, the concurrent or like the consistent sort of like waveform of viewers, so like, because where's that chart? It's the same chart that I had where I was using Iron Mouse's viewers to explain it or something, where it's like, it's just the reality that like a section of your, like, you might have like 1,000 viewers and maybe like 10 people are actively chatting, right? That's not to say that your viewers are bots. It's just to say that most people are sort of passive in a way, right? And I would say even if you get like, let's say 10,000 views over the whole day, you have 1,000 viewers who stick with the content, and that's about maybe like 500 people who may take part into like whatever the content is like happening, right? Like it's just a weird scaling thing of even though there's maybe 12 viewers across the entire day, there's only really 2 to 4 of you who are going to actively take part in these stream events. Because it's like the stream events and like the stream sort of like community stuff, it's really for the hardcore diehard fans, which is to say, I don't know why you do it, but I'm glad that it appeals to you in some way, and I'm hoping to keep it fun for you all. But I'm not here to force you. This is not me saying you have to do it, okay? I'm just saying like if you want to, you can, but I recognize that your life is your life. I don't care whether you do it or not. I just want to make sure that you have fun, and as long as you have fun, then it's fine. If you no longer have fun, you are free to stop. Don't feel guilty about leaving. There could be 0 viewers, and I would still talk to myself because I'm a loser. Mecha robot. Atlas passive tree changes. Okay, so add more notable passives and replace some existing ones. Yeah, okay, Atlas passive tree is just sort of the same old deal. It's just yeah. See, it's just more increased quantity of splitting and stuff like that. In order to work around a common crash that was occurring on the video hardware with recent drivers, the game can now recover from device removed events. Have I played BioShock Infinite? Well, that's actually a very topical topic. No, but I've been meaning to play some BioShock games. Actually, I have access to BioShock now from an account that's my brother's, and it's interesting because I didn't know that he had it, but I was talking to him, and he was like, yeah, like you should actually try BioShock. It's fun, and then I was like, yeah, but I don't want to buy it. But then he was like, wait, but I've had it since forever. Did you not have the account? And then basically, when he gave me the Amazon Games account as well as his GOG account, he had a lot more games than I realized. So we're gonna play it at some point in the future. But yeah, no. Anyways, continue with your point. Sorry. Oh man, POV. It's you're about to spoil it. No. I already know all about it. It's like you go back in time. It's like your like daughter, and then there's like different versions of your daughter, and then they like kill you. I've seen the full playthrough, but I've never personally played it, right? And I make that distinction because watching someone play it is not the same as you playing it. But I also don't care about the spoiler of the story because I'm sure the story is really like this because the story was cool to watch for all the BioShock games, but it's like a System Shock style game. It's like you really play it to have fun with the system. So I don't really care about story spoilers for those games. The only time that I care about story spoilers for games if the story is so good so as to be integral to your enjoyment. Like The Line. If I knew about the story beforehand, is that the game The Line? I wouldn't have appreciated just as much. I think it's just that after Old Boy, it occurred to you that it's kind of similar to the game. Yeah. Infinite is a lot of like weird incest like undertones. Yeah. Listen, Old Boy. Listen, there's a lot of incest in the media that we watch, and I don't know why. There's a shit ton. Like a lot of different stories out there that are very popular have undertones of incest. I'm sure there's an essay somewhere where like there's like a story of how like Superman's relationship with his aunt and like uncle is like incestuous in some nature because of how like close they are, right? But yeah, that game had a lot of weird incestuous undertones. But it's also weird because I never understood why they sort of ham that up a lot. But I also can't tell if it's because I'm like dirty minded and I see like massive titty and I go, ooh yeah, titty. You know what I mean? Like, is it just me seeing titty and I go, I want to fuck that versus like this is actually like an incestuous thing? Because maybe the entire time the main character is like, this is my daughter. I have to save her because she's my daughter. But I'm thinking like, holy shit, those are massive fucking titties. Bazinga! Woohoo! You know what I mean? Awooga! Anyways, in order to work around a recent crash, when this occurs, the game will display a loading screen while it attempts to recover. So, if you were crashing before, you might be able to play again. The reforging benches have been repositioned to more optimal locations. Thank God. This was the biggest problem. I hated going to I don't understand why maps are so huge. Basically, I know they want to make it feel real, but it doesn't matter how real it feels. It's only cool the first time. how optimal it is for pathing for the 99.99% of your gameplay, that's what matters. I still don't understand why there's a well that you have to click on to recover your flasks, and I wish that they removed that too, because ultimately, if people are like people are just optimizing for these numbers, and it makes sense. It's not even a bad thing. That's the game. The game is not to take a nice stroll over to the well to fill your flask of water. This is not Stardew Valley, where you take your bucket to the pond and you fill it up with water to then spray onto the plants like a fucking, I don't know, like a hose. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't fucking work. Many fire skills now visually burn grass in areas. This is the best game ever. That's the kind of shit that I like. I love my favorite activity in Zelda is taking a torch and just lighting the fields on fire. And I love doing it within towns because all the villagers freak out. And it's like they get all and I like to imagine like you do it on like a villager's farm or like an NPC's field, right? And I like to imagine that I've just destroyed their entire harvest and they're going to starve and die and they have to live out in the ruins where all the weird Bobokins are. This is I forget the name because my wife keeps calling it a Bobokin. Improve the performance of summoning and reviving minions. I don't know what that means. Further improve safety checks, preventing using movement skills to skip the elevators. Okay, yeah, that happened a couple times to me. The jumps performed will now allow you to jump over enemies. Wow. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't allow that before. Grenade skills now have a small amount of random variation in travel distance when firing multiple grenades at once. What is with them and just adding more and more RNG, huh? Update the 3D art. Yeah, okay. Fireball. Okay, yeah. Characters are now required to be at least level 25 to enter cruel difficulty. Okay, so now you can't get sped run through the game. That fucking sucks. The player's base attack speed while unarmed is now 1.4, previously 1.2. Killing Palm will now have less attack speed to compensate for this change. So, as in it increases your attack speed because it previously was 10% to increase it up to the same amount before. Right? Okay. Why did they nerf unarmed? Was there like some broken unarmed build that we're just not aware of? Why? Presence base radius is now 4 meters, previously 6, so they made it even. Okay, modifiers have had the effect adjusted. Okay, the Warren Sentinel's Trial. Okay, blocking a hit by raising your shield parry now gives a chance to avoid accumulating heavy stun buildup equal to the chance you would otherwise have had to evade the hit. So you need evasion to do blocking. What? Or I guess they make evade is not a useless stat. I don't know why they have evade in this game. I said this before, right? I don't understand why they have evade within this game when everything makes it feel like they're trying to move towards a more skill-based combat. Like, I don't understand. Just give dexterity something else. It doesn't even matter what you give it. Just give it anything else besides evasion, and I think it would genuinely be better because then you don't have to like like A, RNG staying alive feels weird. B, it means that it complements more of the skill effect, and then maybe Dex can be used for something useful besides just evasion. Although, to be fair, evasion is very strong. It's like probably too strong, but it's a whole different thing. Anyways, I just feel like, I don't know, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like they're still trying to wrestle with this idea of like two different games at once. Unified stun mechanics and terminology between players and monsters. Thank fucking God. This was the worst part of the game. I could never figure out which one applied to me and to them. Players can no longer be light stunned while the shield's raised. Yep, okay, so ice crystal snowball. Players have 50% more light stun. Okay, heavy stun bar. Okay, heavy stun. Okay, players can block. Heavy stun. Okay, critical. Okay, pin targets. Okay, can no longer evade. That's interesting. Base duration for charges is 15, so it's even lower. Revivable minions now spawn with their skills on cooldown. What? Why? Wait, that's awful. Your minions already are so squishy by the time you get to some portion of the game, and I imagine they stay squishy even at late game. If you rely, this basically only nerfs the active usage of a minion build, which should effectively nerf all minion builds. But then people are just going to build it for passive damage, which is easier to build for because you stack stats offensively on your minions, and you only need to care about your defensive stats. It's like, this feels like the wrong choice. I would have thought they would have been like skills on whatever cooldown that they were before, and they just freeze the cooldown based on how many minions are like alive. Like, it's harder to do for them for sure, but it would be better feeling because then you're not weirdly you're not weirdly nerfed by some random system that doesn't really make sense. Precision minions will now always only allocate the passive. Okay, players and monsters now only count as moving while moving rather than for the whole length of the animation. Some stats do change. Okay, the surprising strength provides more damage. Okay. The Work Hollow's Bellow, the Turtle Charm. Okay, the Encased in Jade skill has now been reworked. It grants guard based off your maximum life. The ancestral the incestuous spirit skill granted by the answered call ascendancy passive skill now has minions from the skill increased rating per 3 of your dexterity. And the Jade Hulk, Work Hollow's Bellow, the Power Shell or Gemling Legionnaire is the best class at the moment. The enhanced effectiveness ascendancy passive skill now also grants 20% less attributes. It's dead. It's dead in the water. Wait, the integrated efficiency ascendancy passive skill has to swap places with Gemside. It no longer provides plus 3 skill slots. Instead, it now causes skills to gain 20% increased damage per socketed red. Gain 6% increased skill speed. Oh, that's even better. Wait, that's amazing. Well, okay, maybe the Gemling Legionnaire has become an even better skill class. Because plus 3 skill slots, I didn't get the point of it because you don't have many spaces and it doesn't really matter. But getting more power from a limited set of skill slots, that's pretty good. The implanted gems no longer provides a plus 1 level to all skills. Now provides a choice between plus 2 with a space fire plus 2. Oh, I see. No Mercy. Yep. Witch Hunter. Honestly, Witch Hunter is kind of, I don't know. It's whatever. Deadeye now provides when you consume friendly charges. The Pathfinder. Connected Chemistry. New multi-choice. The Chayula one was apparently really bad. We have a chat member who looked it over and tried it out for a bit, and they said, yeah, it sucks. The Embrace Darkness sensitivity skill now provides a plus 8 to maximum darkness per level compared to plus 5, and darkness is like a... we're still not clear if it uses it in the place of spirit, because no one actually got that far to even bother. They usually gave up as soon as they made the ascendancy of Chayula, because it was bad. It no longer provides Monleech as instant. Now Monleech recovers based on other damage types as well as physical damage. Oh. Honor lost during the trial of Sycamores is now taken before the Acolyte's Darkness. That was the biggest problem with it. And protecting from harm grants 50% less. Okay, so they basically nerfed it, I guess. Now provides 1 per 8, and yeah, they basically nerfed it. This makes sense because this one was actually strong. We have a chat member who is maining this, the Invoker, and they're kind of broken. The Blood Barbs essentially no longer provides 10% of damage gained as extra physical damage. It now causes bleeding to be aggravated. That's a lot better. Causes critical hits to ignore monster armor. Requires Sanguimancy. In Friend List, the Demon Form skill now has a cooldown of 15, a maximum of 10 Demon Flame. What? So now you get forced to have a max of Demon Flame, when before there was no max. Which means every build based around this Demon Form is dead. In the water. Unless you commit more points to it, which feels weird. Because you have to get even more Ascendancy passives to make it work, to get more fire damage. Because it used to be that you could build it so you get infinite Demon Flame, and you would get infinite damage. Up to a certain point. Oh, but then you get this to get the no maximum. So you basically it's the same thing as before. What? Chronomancer, the Circular Heart, Stormweaver, yada yada yada. Passive skill tree changes. There's new passives, new clusters. Okay, yada yada yada. And volatility. Okay, this companion related. I just want to see what the companions are. New trusted kinship allows you to have 2 companions of different types. What's the difference between a companion and a minion? Like, if I was a necromancer and I summon a skeleton and I have a pet dog, they're both the same in my eyes. I only let one of them, well, I let both of them sleep with me. I go to bed and I'm like, okay, puppy, come here. Time for sleepies. And then, they sleep in the bed with me. And then I wrap my arms around my skeleton minion. Right? It's all the same, man. It's all the same to me. They're both minions. Like, we're all hanging out on the... It's not a sexual thing, okay? I just love it when my dog sleeps with me on the bed because it's so cute because they like cuddle up and it's like, oh, and you get to like hug them and stuff. So, but some people, like our mod, says, oh, dogs stink. They shouldn't be allowed on the bed. What does she know about dogs? She only just recently got one, unwillingly. Falcon attack, icebreaker. Is there anything new? Many skill changes the mana cost for all attacks have been reduced. Wow, that's actually very interesting. That's actually good. Minion damage and life scaling. General damage and life is same early game, but lower than before at higher levels. So minions are dead. Okay? So Did they fix the AI at least? If they don't fix the AI, but they nerf the damage, it's fucking shit. Because the minions getting stuck on walls and having to move them around is trash. Add the target, adjust the skill to cleric's heal life skill appropriately. Okay, better scaling. All sources of striking deal splash damage now have a radius. Arc can no longer Archmage. Arm break it down to arm break. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of changes. Blink is now a travel skill. That's interesting. Barrage repeats now deal a little bit. Bone Storm now impales on hit instead of a specialized debuff and has 200% more impale magnitude. Cast and minion death now only gains energy when persistent minions are killed. Okay, so not the little bone dudes from that one ground bone skill. Level 20 minions will no longer incur a penalty in endgame combat. Concoction skills require an unarmed weapon set. They no longer deal your base, instead dealing only attachment with physical skill. Decompose. Okay, wow, there's a lot of different things going on. Direct minions now is a 0.5 second cooldown, so you can't spam it anymore. I don't know. Well, I guess doesn't really make sense now. Flame Wall now causes projectiles to throw. Okay, Flame Wall got nerfed to shit. It got its damage cut by almost half, or just over half. Wow. Hammer Gods only has a cooldown, but requires 20 glory to use. What? Glory is a resource that gets built up by heavy stunning enemies. The amount of glory gained is based on the stunned monster's power. This all feels bad. So, one, Hammer Gods is now a glory hole. It's where you put all of your glory into to then, blast someone, right? But two, it feels like all these changes are about trying to make more conditions to do things, to force you to use different skills, to build up towards these big ticket items, right? That's not necessarily a bad thing. But why would you do that in a game where the monsters swarm you and you die within half a second? Why would you do that if the monsters are going to kill you in half a second? Why would you take the time to build this shit up if you're just going to die anyways? Why wouldn't you... basically, why wouldn't you ever just use one skill that's easy to use over and over and over, has quick cast time, and has no condition? Because there's hundreds of monsters swarming you, trying to kill you at any moment. And basically, none of this matters, because it's all shit, unless they make the enemies slower. I don't get it. Unless they make the enemies slower, I don't know if it really makes sense. Hello, chat. Are you ready for more combo-based gameplay tomorrow when I go live on it, but not today because I don't want to? More combo-based gameplay in a game that's fundamentally about getting swarmed by a bunch of monsters that kill you in half a second. But you can jump over monsters now. It's kind of cool with your Deadeye. Please don't tell me you're going to make an archer again within the new patch. Please tell me, chat, you're going to make a different class within the new patch. Please tell me you're going to make a barbarian. They're genuinely fun, even if they're very hard to play, and they die often. Okay. Quiet the Storm. Okay. I mean, I was excited before, but I just want to see the enemy changes now. Okay, here we go. Bosses that need to perform certain actions to progress the fight will now become immune to damage if their life is brought significantly past the point at which that action should be used, but will prevent the case where bosses get semi-permanently crowd controlled and prevent the fight from progressing. Armor on all monsters have been reduced by 30%, so now Armor Break is... It's interesting because Armor Break was the best value, best bang for your buck, and it was basically a required element for every single skill. If you needed high DPS, but now you don't really need that if they have less armor, and now you can get away with other more big ticket things. What class will I choose? I don't know. I do want to try the new one. So they haven't talked about the new one much yet. Actually, all they've said is that there is a new class. The Huntress, and I do like spears, right? I think of you ever read that here, look, you ever read that Lusty Argonian Maid spear polishing? Here we go. Spear? Where's the spear?
Certainly not, kind sir. I am here but to clean your chambers.
Is that all you have come here for, little one? My chambers?
I have no idea.
Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this voice is because she's a lizard.
I have no idea what it is you imply, master. I am but a poor Argonian maid.
So you are my dumpling, and a good one at that. Such strong legs and shapely tail.
You embarrass me, sir.
Fear not, you're safe here with me.
I must finish my cleaning, sir. The mistress will have my head if I do not.
Cleaning, eh? I have something for you. Here, polish my spear. That's the only reason why I want to play the class. He's the polishing the spear aspect. The new parry skill looks so bad, IML. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Okay, so that's the thing. I was just mentioning this, okay? They even with the changes to the existing skills, a lot of them now have different combo requirements, right? So you have to like build glory to spend in your glory hole skill, the hammer of the gods. But it's the same problem with parry, where it's like, why would you do this when you can just kill the monster using one easy skill? Because why would you spend the time doing these weird actions when the game is fundamentally about monsters swarming you? I'm hoping the monster changes actually change the monsters enough that you can play with this playstyle. But I don't think in this game with a parry makes sense. Like even a parry within like a Dark Souls slash Elden Ring game barely makes sense, because when there's more than 3 enemies, parry isn't really worth it. But the concession is that even if there's a lot of enemies, when you parry, your critical attack, like your little stab move, gives you iframes. You can't be hit during it. And so it's like, that's a super power buff, and that's the only reason why parry works in those games, right? For like, like for your average mobs. You have no idea what they were smoking, lead dev, overplayed Souls games or something. Yeah, that's what it feels like, right? It feels like they've overplayed Souls games, but they don't understand why it works. And they don't even understand the concessions that Souls games had to make. Again, like in Souls, a successful parry into a successful crit gives you a massive amount of iframes to make up for the fact that it sucks in any situation other than a 1v1 situation. In a boss fight, it doesn't matter, but the moment that there's 2 enemies or more, parry sucks. Because you spend so much of your time animation locked that it basically becomes risky to do. And looking at the video that we just saw, I saw the parry and I was like, yeah, I'm not really sure if this really works. And what's funny too, if you look at the video, they only showed the parry during a boss fight. They're trying to make boss fights more common, but they're still mapping that aren't boss fights, which is where you get most of your items. So unless they go for all boss fights, which they won't, or they make the parry really fast, which would make it broken, it's in this weird spot where it's only useful in some situations, so no one's ever going to use it, when you can just use Spark. You can just use Spark and kill the bosses and mobs. Pretty easy. Armor and all mass monsters have been decreased. Soul, okay, yeah. Armor, yeah. Okay, I don't care about the bosses. Yeah. Okay. Monsters down with that. Okay. Lower the shuttle. Lower the maximum number of monsters that can be alive at once in ritual encounters, particularly early in the game. Okay, yeah. Okay. They've done nothing to the monsters. Incrementally improved monster. They've done nothing to the monsters. So, what? They've had a lot of number tweaks for like how their mechanics play out for bosses. They've had a fair number of tweaks for the rewards. They've had a number of tweaks for like their life and their damage, but barely. There's no behavior changes. So if you get swarmed and you're trying to do a parry, you're just gonna die. When you're trying to do these combos and you want to use Hammer of the Gods to like kill like a large mob, like a very strong rare mob, you have to build glory the entire time, doing these like 5 different skills to build combo, to build glory, to build heavy stun, but then you're just gonna die. Like this feels kind of weird. Remember what I said about the game? How I was like, I wish they. Also, I don't know why people do this. Nice, but we out here. I don't. I never understand why people post these things. I always think to myself, what they're thinking with their game, because I remember saying this during the first beta test for the patch, right? When it first dropped and we were playing it. I remember saying the exact same thing of like, Melee is fun, but the game doesn't feel built for Melee. In fact, the game as a whole didn't feel built for whatever type of playstyle they were trying to build. Even for like a slower spellcaster, it didn't really make sense. And it was like, it just feels like the wrong game framework in the rest of the game for what they're trying to do. And they're making the player experience slower and slower by adding these conditions, like more and more conditions, right? So I don't really know what they're doing here. And again, I think it is apt to say, yeah, like it really does feel like they've been playing too many Souls games. But they don't understand why the slow combat works. You'll probably play it tomorrow too, so servers will probably be full and laggy. Yeah, so yeah, it's. I imagine because right at 3, there's like no guarantee that the maintenance would be done in time too, and I can't imagine having to like drop off and then you realize, oh wait, it's not ready yet, so you wait like another hour and then. I'm not down for that, game of waiting for the first day. I'm always down for second day. It's like buying a game now, right? Why buy a game at 100 when you can wait till it goes on sale for like 15? Monster Hunter World, for instance, you can get that game at like maybe 10 bucks. Like it can get pretty cheap. Here, look, SteamDB. SteamDB sounds like LeebyDB. SteamDB sounds like LeebyDB. SteamDB. Monster Hunter World. Price history. This bad boy. Price history. Right now it's 25. When it released, it was like 100. Well, it was like 80 roughly. So you can, and then what's the highest sale? How do you see the highest sale? Give me the highest sale number. Show me highest, lowest recorded price was $8. Or let's go to Canada. Look, $13 in Canada. Why even bother? And this also applies to the Switch 2 stuff, where I'm like, why bother? To be fair, the Switch 2 stuff, Nintendo never sells the games, but I wouldn't be surprised if it bombs because of the price. The price is honestly just crazy now. So yeah, day one stuff just isn't good, guys. Just wait for your time, wait for it to go down, wait for it to get there, and we'll play it. It's not really. I don't know. It's not really good. I'm also less happy about the patch now. Like, it's cool that they had a new class, but I'm worried about the fact that the class it's not really like the rest of the game is still the same game. And so I'm going to have the same problems with the game, which is the game at the pace that it moves at doesn't feel like it's made for this type of game. Like, again, I just don't understand what they're thinking. The pace of everything still doesn't match what they want to do with the vision of the game that they said up front. And I still think, and it sucks because the devs, it's like the studio behind No Rest for the Wicked. I don't want to really support what their creators are really doing. Not like all of them, but like the heads of the studio. But that game really is the best iteration of Path of Exile 2 that I've ever played. No Rest for the Wicked really is the best iteration of Path of Exile 2 that I've ever played. It's so good compared to Path of Exile 2 because the entire game, all the enemies, everything is built around the slow-paced, sort of like methodical combat system. We're going to move on now to programming a visual novel. Again, I will explain more when we get to it. But, as with every day, we start with a song, okay? I think this song is going to set the mood for today. I've got this song that I think you'll really enjoy. It's a song that it's a whole album that I've been listening to again. It's a Frank Ocean album. Blonded. It's his whole, well, sorry, not to Blonded. Programming, what the heck? Well, okay, do you consider a DSL programming? Not dick sucking lips. Not dick sucking lips. I consider dick sucking lips the best thing ever. It's like, God, I love DSL. But do you consider a domain specific language good? A programming effort, or do you consider it the same as like scripting? And then I guess it depends on when your IT person makes a bash script. Do you say that's some nice programming, or do you say get out of here? Vibe coding. What happens to that vibe coding game jam? Vibe coding game jam. Can we just check this shit out? Vibe coding. Beggarkings.com. Beggarkings.com. Chat, it's actually done. So it's actually done. There's also G Prompter. Well, what is this? G Prompter? What? Well, you know what? There's a chat. It's actually done. So we can actually check those vibe coding games at some point. The G Spot. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't know. Well, we'll see how it goes. What? The prime time. The Primogen? Day 6. Vibe coding a game in 7 days. No. Primogen. Why? No. You made your own NeoVim plugins. You fucker. Oh, he got sponsored? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Hey, look, listen. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. All right, I'm hating the game, but if he's getting paid for it, I'm not hating the player. I'm hating the game. All right, he's just making money. Yeah, that's crazy. Look, we're gonna program today, and you're all going to like it, but it really depends on if you think a domain-specific language is programming. And I don't know how much programming we're going to do, but there's some mechanics that I want to try to add to this game. I was thinking of some mechanics that would make a visual novel more fun, but we'll see how it goes. But before we do that, some music. It's an album called Channel Orange by Frank Ocean. It's a really great album back from 2012, so I'm very old now. 2012, it's 13 years ago. I was... Holy fuck, I was a youngin'. I was going to parties, smoking weed, talking to people, right? Actually, you know what's funny is that I remember one time, actually during this time period, I went to a party, and somebody kept trying to talk to me, and I was like, I'm busy playing Coup, which is a board game. Like, I'm busy trying to kill this guy over here, okay? I don't wanna fuck you. I don't wanna talk to you. I'm busy playing games. Nerd, and I'm proud of it. Listen, guys, it's easy to get sex, okay? Sex you can get at any point in time. But connection, time with your homies, time with your partner, right? Time with something that you actually care about, that's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard to get time that you care about, okay? You could now buy, I don't know, like, here, look, you can get a Lovents. You can get a Project Melody branded Lovents. I can't show you this. Project Melody now supports Lovents. Okay, Project Melody, a nut between worlds. What the fuck is this? Nut between worlds? What is a high quality next gen hentai game, a 3D sci-fi dating game? Wait, this is actually sick. Okay, okay, I know what to play now. I know what to play on the adult stream. On the adult stream now. After busting a nut to your favorite streamer, Project Melody, you find yourself face to face with a mysterious goddess. She's hoping to find a valiant hero, but got you instead. So you die? Holy shit, it's an isekai where you bust a nut and you die from the force of the nut exiting your, like, penis? Dude, okay, think about this. I think you could genuinely die from busting a nut, because if you think about it, right? All that needs to happen is the nut needs to, like, go into your throat, because your mouth is, like, open, because you're like a mouth breather, right? And then what happens is that when it goes into your throat, you would then choke on it because it's extra thick, because because all you do is you stay home the entire time. Yeah, death by cum, right? And then you choke because it forms like an airproof layer, right? But yeah, you can go get a Lovent toy. You can get a Lovent sex toy that is basically the same feeling. You know what I mean? Like, look, you can get a Solus for $184 on sale right now, which is an app-controlled automatic male masturbator. So you can put on your VR headset, load up whatever this Project Melody game is, okay? And just let the Solus do its work on your penis the entire time. Like, you don't need, like, you know what I mean? Like, sex is easy. Sex is easy to obtain. But connection with your homies, you can't get that. That's what I live for, dude. Connection. You know what? This song is about connection. This song is interesting. So I'll talk more about the song. But this song is fascinating in the way that it draws this story of somebody who, or like, it's drawing this story of like this type of lifestyle that is so out of reach for most people. And it's trying to, in a way, humanize them, but also just talking about the way that no matter how rich or how much you have, it's all about the human connection, which I really like. So again, sex is easy, but the human connection, that's hard, man. Cum asphyxiation. Please enjoy Super Rich Kids by I don't buy. Do you think these artists care that I say this after I just said everything that I said? Like, imagine you're Frank Ocean and you're watching my stream. I don't fucking know why, but you're watching my stream, okay? Then hey, Frank Ocean, I love you, and you're watching the stream, and then I start talking about like this, like the soulless male masturbator, right? And then it's like, okay, well, how do you even like? Do you enjoy the fact that I'm talking about your song? But yeah, this is Super Rich Kids by Frank Ocean. Please do enjoy. It's actually a really good song. Okay, well, there was like 5 seconds left, but it's again, it's like those endings where it slowly fades out. It's like they're going down on the fader really slow, so you don't know when to stop. I like the song a lot. It's an interesting vibe. It's a very weird feeling for the entire song. The pace is very slow. It's very very slow, but it has all the same emotions and complexity as any other fast-paced complex song. The mix of the rapping and the way that it's almost just somebody narrating almost something that's happening is very fascinating from Earl Sweatshirt. And then you also have just the beautiful singing from Frank Ocean. And I love the song slowly gets more and more complex. Like it initially starts out very simple, sort of one single track, one single vocal track, and even sort of the background instruments sort of start out simple. It's just a single beat at the beginning. Slowly builds up until eventually you have harmonies on the singing and the rapping, and then all of it sort of meshes together into one. It slowly adds on more and more layers to the very at the very end, where you don't even notice that the song repeats in a way. Because that song and many songs, honestly, it was funny last time when we were listening to a chat of songs and we realized that yeah, all long songs are just repeats of various sections. That song repeats it very often, but you don't notice because of the increasing complexity of the soundscape as you go through it, which is a very fascinating way of doing it. And it's interesting because very often you don't really see that. A lot of songs that you hear keep the same feeling the entire time. Like you ever listen to the photograph song, the meme song, like "Look at this photograph." I can't do his like very gravelly voice, but he has like a very gravelly voice. It's like, "Look at this." How does he do with such a gravelly voice? He has such a like a strong voice. But like that song, if you listen to the Nickelback song, right? It's the same song the entire time. Like just look and listen to this. Look. At no point in the song's lifetime does it change. I just showed you every single minute of the song. 0 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute. It's all the same. It's literally all the same song. It's smoking. Sometimes, honestly, I do kind of want to get into smoking so my voice sounds cool. But then I think about the fact that there's lung cancer involved. Like, if I could ruin my vocal cords without lung cancer, I would do it. But I think what I need to do is I just need to get good at modulating my voice the same way that like a voice actor would. Because you ever see a voice actor that looks like the way that they do and then sounds like the way that they do, and then you hear the voices that they do and you go, there's no way that this voice comes from that person. I want that. Like, I want to walk into a store and then have that feeling. I kind of have that now, actually, in the real life. When I walk into a store and I use my like talking voice, I always get like a double take of like, what the fuck, you sound like that? It's because I definitely don't look like the way I sound, but or growl. My throat hurts. The pain. We're gonna move on now. We're gonna move on now. We're gonna move on. We'll just ignore the fact that I did that. Okay, just ignore the fact that I did that. We're gonna move on to making a visual novel now. Okay, today's a full visual novel day. I have some ideas of what I wanted to try for it. I'll open up the good old Obsidian to show you. And just give me a moment to set up the various windows because there's a lot of windows that I need to set up. There's like two main ones and then just one editor one. But I think we leave my personal note one as well, but I don't know how to do it. And if you can't see something, just remind me quickly. I'm gonna have to like figure out how to get used to the whole minimizing thing. So give me a moment as I set things up. But you know what? It was a bit of a failure today. Sorry, chat. But hey, you know what? Fridays I like to keep for experimental days anyways, so it's good to know. Tomorrow we're doing Path of Exile 2. We're gonna do Path of Exile 2 pretty much the entire day, and we're gonna see how it goes. Tomorrow's Path of Exile pretty much the entire day, probably. Sunday I've got some other things that I want to do. It might be spooky, it might be something else. I'm not really sure. It depends on how I feel like, but I might do it something else. It might be so. My plan right now is either Dark Messiah or something spooky. I might go Dark Messiah because the co-op mod is out and there's a restoration mod that is also I think mostly done. I think it's playable now, but if it's not, then we will do spooky. But we'll see. Well, we might even do a vanilla run of the game because it's a very short game, and we can do it in a single day. And the gameplay is fun, but it just crashes a lot. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, everyone. Today is abject failure, but you know what? From failure, we learn something. That I still really don't want to. I still don't want to stream programming. I genuinely, I don't know how people stream programming for like a long period of time because it's like So much approach, or just so much of making things is the act of doing nothing and failing and figuring out what to do from there. So I don't know how people do it. We're gonna see if I can raid someone because people always raid me, and I never get the chance to raid over. Is anybody that I know on? Unfortunately, no. No one that I know is on. So get out of here. You're all free now. I'm opening the lid on the ant farm. You can all go wherever you want to be. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good night. I'll see you all tomorrow for Path of Exile 2. Again, if you're in Path of Exile 2, let me know your in-game username in Twitch chat, and I'll add you to the guild, and we'll all just have some fun, okay? And let's try and see if we can play co-op this time, because last time we couldn't do co-op campaign. We are not doing co-op for the trials, though. We are not doing co-op for the trials. Last time that was a bad idea. We were all stuck on the trials for like 3 hours. Bye.